Hi everyone, this is Coach Lana checking in, and today is day 12 of 31 days to cleaner eating. Today we're going to talk about fats and some oils and maybe some things that some good and bad fats are in. So I'm going to be checking my notes often because I want to make sure I don't forget anything. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it. This video might be a little bit longer than some others because this is a really big topic. I want you to do one of two things if you don't want to watch the whole video. Read below and also dig deeper. I could spend a half an hour just talking about this topic, but I'm going to try to make this video less than 10 minutes. Fingers crossed. So anyway, saturated fats. Okay, saturated fats come mostly from animal sources, but that's not the only place. The American Heart Association recommends that we keep saturated fats under 7%. And not all saturated fats are created equal. So some of them increase your risk of heart disease, cancer, and possibly even type 2 diabetes. And that's some of the things you're going to notice with a lot of the bad fats is heart disease, cholesterol, type 2 diabetes. So that's a common theme. We find high saturated fats in creams, butters, animal products, so those types of things. Animal products mainly red meats, a lot of red meats. Let's see, you can also find it in coconut oil, which is interesting, palm oil, cottonseed oil. But the one thing is, I use coconut oil. I really like it. It's like almost like a superfood. It has 47% lauric acid, and lauric acid itself sometimes can be used as an antimicrobial agent, but it also increases your high-density lipoprotein. So your good cholesterol, your HDL, it actually increases that. So that's wonderful because it helps you with your percentages because you want to have a certain percentage. So it gets the HDL up. And then another choice is dark chocolate. So dark chocolate has stearic acid in it, and stearic acid actually helps to lower your LDL. So let's see, maybe we can make something with chocolate and coconut oil, increase the HDL and lower the LDL? Sounds like a plan, right? Okay, let's move on. Monosaturated fats are also found in a variety of foods and oils. You can find monosaturated fats in nuts, avocados, olives, olive oil, peanut oil, canola oil. These fats have also been found that they increase the good cholesterol and they reduce the bad cholesterol. So you have both the things going on at the same time. They reduce your risk of heart disease, and they've been shown to have benefits in your insulin levels. So if you have type 2 diabetes, it's something to take into consideration. Olive oil, peanut oil, canola oil, avocados, nuts, right? So those are on our list. We'll talk about canola oil a little bit near the end, because it can be a little bit of a controversial topic too. Polyunsaturated, okay, a type of fat mainly found in plant-based foods, but elsewhere too. They tend to reduce your LDL, so your low-density lipoproteins, lipids. You want those to go down, you want your HDL to go up, and these decrease, they reduce your LDL. And guess what else? It does reduce your HDL a little bit, but not to a significant percentage. So that decreases your risk of heart disease. It helps with control of type 2 diabetes. And it has two different, so we have two different acids when we're thinking of polyunsaturated. We got omega-3s, which a lot of you may have heard of because you might be taking vitamins with omega-3s, and omega-6s. Okay, so the omega-3s you can find in fish, flaxseed oil, hemp oil, also flax seeds and hemp. Obviously, not obviously, but usually the nut and the oil will contain a lot of the same ingredients, depending on how the oil was processed. And unhydrogenated soybean oil, unhydrogenated. We'll talk about hydrogenated in a second. Protect against heart disease, helpful benefits against rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an inflammation disease. Okay, a lot of inflammation with that type of disease. So we got polyunsaturated fats that help you reduce inflammation, which is a big key word these days, right? Lower blood pressure. Then we have omega-6s, and you can find those in nuts and seeds in their oils also. So hemp, flax, and these also help decrease your risk of heart disease. Now, something to note is that you think of omega-3s and omega-6s. People are actually getting a lot of omega-6s. Omega-6 is probably not something you need to hunt for, but you want to hunt for it in a good source. We actually get a lot of omega-6s in fast food and processed foods. And it doesn't sound like you should be getting that, but it's because canola oils and the processing of these tend to be used in fast food, soybean oils, and they're really highly processed, and we're getting way too much of omega-6. We want to have a balance of omega-3 and omega-6. So if you decrease the amount of fast food and processed foods you're eating and eat natural sources of hemp and flax and nuts and avocados, you're going to naturally get a good balance. If you're out of balance, it creates a situation in your body that increases your risk of cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. So another reason to avoid fast food and processed foods. Okay, moving on, trans fats, type of fat that's naturally found in meat, but the main source that people eat trans fats is in processed foods. Okay, it's created by partially hydrogenating oils. So when you look at your food label, you're going to see trans fat or you're going to see partially hydrogenated something. So partially hydrogenated, make sure I'm on track. Yep, I'm on track. Good. Of course, these have a double whammy bad effect. Okay, they increase your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. They decrease your HDL, which is your good cholesterol, leading to heart disease and a lot of other ailments. Basically, the bottom line with trans fats is 0 is the good amount. There is no safe amount of trans fats. And the thing that is really disturbing about trans fats and something to think about is the food industry does not have to put on their label that they have trans fats. They can put 0 on their label if they have less than 0.5 grams. And it doesn't sound like a big deal, but if 0 is the amount of trans fats you should have, and 0 is what the label says, you think you're okay. So maybe you decide to give yourself a treat of a cookie, and then maybe you go somewhere else, someone has a birthday party, and you have some Costco cake. You're going to find trans fats in a lot of cookies, a lot of processed foods, and a lot of icings. Things that are fluffy, have icing, taste creamy and yummy, and you're going to see 0, 0, 0, 0, and by the end of the day, you could have had 1 to 2 to 3 grams of trans fats and not even known it. And our limit for trans fats? 0. There is no safe limit. So it's another thing to think about. When you're choosing your treats, see if you can find someone who's reputable. All right. Boom. That's a lot to think about, a lot to digest. That's right. I'm funny. Okay. So total dietary fat should be 20 to 30%. We already know 7% is the limit on the saturated fats. I'm back. So you do need fat in your diet for your body to process, for your cell membranes to work, for your chemical processes to work. So don't throw fat out the door, but you want to decrease it. And you want to look for fats that are like cold pressed, unprocessed, organic. Not all of them though. I've included below a chart, and it's just one. I mean, you can research lots of other ones if you have different, you want to research it. But this one is a comparison chart coming from eatingrules.com. It shows all these different oils. They're color-coded by safer and not safer according to them. I try to have an open mind. You're going to see me always say, like, research it, research. This is what I've found. Because right now, the filming of this video, trans fats are evil, and, organic, cold-pressed olive oil is like the king of all kings, and coconut oil is good for you, even though it's a saturated fat. But who knows? 5 years from now, they may have found new research. So all I can suggest to you is be just like me, an information suction cup, right? Just suck it in, funnel it in, and process it. Just try to clean, clean, clean. So right now we know trans fats, bad. Polyunsaturated, good. Avocados, walnuts, good. Just try to increase your body eating those things that are real food. So going back to what we've been learning so far, whole food, organic food, non-GMO food, real food. Doesn't mean you can't ever have fun food. Just make it a little bit. All right, so I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's longer than usual. I really appreciate it. I hope you liked it. This is Coach Lana, and I'm out of here.